So this section is simplifying complex fractions, and a complex fraction is just a fraction within a fraction. And so this would be an example of one. Now remember, when we have a fraction, all this means is division. And so it's going to really help us if we just change it to division right off the bat. And remember to use our parentheses because you're dividing by this whole denominator. So now let's actually work inside our parentheses and get common denominators in this first one. Remember, this 2 is over 1. So our common denominator is going to be a. So the first fraction stays the same. The second one we had to multiply by a over a. So we'll have 2a divided by. And then notice this can be written over 1. So we'll have 2 plus a over 1. And now this first fraction we can combine so that we've got 3 plus 2a over a. And when we have division, remember we can multiply by the reciprocal. And nothing cancels out, so we're left with 3 plus 2a over a times 2 plus a. And that's it. So this one, it's the same idea. The key thing is remembering this fraction is the same as dividing. And so we can break this up into 1 over a minus 1 over b divided by the whole quantity of 1 over a plus 1 over b. And now our common denominator in this first one is going to be ab. Notice we have to multiply by b over b, so b, and then a over a, which will give us the numerator of a. And I like to keep working with one fraction all the way down until we get it as just one fraction. And I like to just keep that side. And then I'll go to the second side. So over here, once again, our common denominator is ab. And now that we have one fraction divided by a fraction, we can change this to multiplication by the reciprocal. So this would be what we did in last section. So we'll have times ab over b plus a. And now notice our ab's can cancel with each other. And so we are left with b minus a over b plus a. One thing to note, they are not, you can't simplify this farther by factoring out a negative, because had we tried that, if we have b minus a and factor out a negative, notice now our b is negative, and over here our b needed to be positive. Alright, on this one, thinking back to chapter 1, remember when we had negative exponents, that just means put it in the denominator. So our numerator here really is just 1 over a squared plus 1 over b squared divided by 1 over a minus 1 over b. And now this is exactly like what we just did. So on the left side, our common denominator is a squared b squared. This side we had to multiply by b squared over b squared. And then a squared over a squared on the right. So our numerator here is b squared plus a squared over a squared b squared. And then on the left here, once again our common denominator is ab. So multiplying by b over b and a over a. So now let's change this to multiplication by the reciprocal. And now let's see see, can we factor anything? We can't factor our numerator on the left, but we can divide out this a with this a squared, when it's left with a, and the b with the b squared. So our numerator is just b squared plus a squared over ab times b minus a. Notice because that numerator is addition, it will not factor. This one looks more complicated. It's got the same idea. And so let's start by separating this with our numerator. Divided by our denominator. And now notice on our left side, our common denominator is going to be x squared. And so this 1 over 1 we have to multiply by x squared over x squared. This middle term we had to multiply by x over x. This last term we just had to multiply by 1 over 1, or didn't have to multiply by anything. And now, to get it as one fraction, we're left with x squared plus 6x plus 8. And that actually will factor down as well. So we're left with x plus 2 times x plus 4 all over x squared. And that's as far as our left side will go. So let's come back and look at our right side. So I've divided by, common denominator here is also x squared. So we had to multiply this by x squared over x squared. This one by x over x. This last one we didn't have to multiply by anything. So our numerator here is going to be x squared plus x minus 12 all over x squared. And this will also factor. And so we've got x plus 4 times x minus 3 all over x squared. And now we do have division. So let's go ahead and change this to multiplying by the reciprocal. And now notice these x squareds will cancel, and the x plus 4's cancel. We're left with x plus 2 over x minus 3. And that is the end of this section.